It's important.
Yeah, I learned that, man, reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, man. Ever since then, I was like, nah, I gotta get folks' name right, especially if you're trying to do business.
100%. 100%. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. On this show, every single day, right, we give you gems, marketing or business, principal strategies, lessons for you to implement into your life or your business right now. And we do it completely for free to help you level up and go to the next level. Now, I got an amazing guest today, Rafael Jimerson, and what he's gonna do is tell you how you can make a bag in Notary. Like,
Yes.
and the thing about Notary, we talked about, it's not necessarily the most sexiest industry. It's not the most talked about industry. It's not an industry that people are like, you know what, I can't wait to start a notary business. But he's gonna tell you why you should start a notary business full time or on the side, and how you can actually expedite the income coming from operating as a notary or creating your own notary agency.
Yep.
So before I introduce my guest so we can come on and bless you guys with the gems, I want to let you guys know today's episode is sponsored by the Imperfect Action Con coming up August 19th and 20th. A link will be below. We're going to be talking about credit, content, marketing, and NFTs and so much more. You want to be in a room in person in Los Angeles. And if you cannot make it, there will be a virtual opportunity for you to attend the 2-day event. So, with that being said, Ralph, welcome to the show, man. I really, really appreciate you. I know, we've been looking forward to making this happen for a couple of months. We are
Yep.
finally here today, man. So thanks for tapping in. And why don't we get into it? How'd you get into, being a notary, and how'd you find yourself in this industry?
Before I get started, again, I appreciate you for having me on today, man. Man, this is an honor to be on here, so thank you. But just letting the people know, again, my name is Rafael Jimerson, owner of Stamper Signings. I've been in the business for about 5 years now. How I got into the business is I was a security guard, right? Did that for about 6 years. Man, but the highlight of my days were pretty much taking pictures of trash on the ground, doing golf and foot patrols, man. So always knew I wanted to get into business. I just didn't know what to do, right? So
So, so you said you always knew that you wanted to get into this particular business?
not into this particular
Just
business,
in
but
business.
yeah, just in
Okay.
business for myself in general. I just didn't know what, right?
Gotcha.
So in my last year doing security, I used to have a supervisor, and he was pretty much responsible for every department's task for some reason, even though he had his own team, right? And so when he started to fall behind, I would see they was trying to put his job at risk. And so here's a brother, right? And I'm thinking like, all right, if they treat him like that, it's only a matter of time before they get to me. So that sense of urgency was like, we need to get on the ball now. So I figure, all right, let me just start a business with what I know. I figure, all right, maybe I'll try to start a private security firm. But at that time, I'm a security guard, didn't have much capital. So I figured, you know what, maybe I'm not going to pursue that. So I'll never forget, man, my mom's has been working with the government for over 20 years, and I know she had got commissioned as a notary. So I said, let me do some research. I know at the least I can stamp a document, right? And so I look online, do the research. I don't know how verified the source was, but it said independent mobile notaries make 50K a year. I said, cool, man. I can make 50K a year independently. At the time, I'm only doing 42. I was like, bet, sign me up. So I went to, so that same night, man, went over to the National Notary Association website, signed up for the training, completed that training within a week, and then scheduled my project exam. Went up to the location to do it. I found out 2 weeks later I passed, got my commission, got my stamp, and I haven't looked back since.
So one of the questions that we had, and I think this is a great segue, right? So
Yep.
one of the questions that we had was, this one is from Annette. Annette, what's up? Hope you do well. So one of the question she asked was, what were the fees associated with being a notary, right? So what are the fees associated? So
Mm-hmm.
um, based on what you invested to get the information, and
Yep.
then what you invested to take the test,
Mm-hmm.
and then whatever you had to invest to be certified or get the license.
Mm-hmm.
What did all that look like?
So you paying for the background check, you paying to get fingerprinted, you paying to take your oath and the bond at the county, you paying for the 6 hour training. If you're paying for supplies, you're paying for your insurance. Altogether, at max you're gonna pay 1,000 at max.
Okay, all right. So you pay about $1,000, and I want to give people something realistic, right?
Yeah.
So you pay about $1,000
Yep.
on a front end.
On the front
to
end, yep.
put yourself in position to perform and do the practice, right?
Yes, sir.
How many transactions would it take that person that to make that investment back? Like how many transactions would they need on average to get that $1,000 back being a notary?
So if you get right into the business and you start working with the estate planning attorneys, just knocking out estate plan signings, 200 a pop, you can make that back in like 5 signings. If you're doing loan closings just on the real estate side and you just working with signing services and they paying you $100 just for 10 signings, you can make that back easily. You can make that back in the same month. In the same month, you got commission.
So then, how many of those can you do in a week?
Oh man, you can do 10 to 15 a week. You can do as
All
many.
right. Oh, all right. So cool. I want people to see this. So you all right? And then listen, because I just got the download. You can start the business for free.
Yep.
Because you can either borrow some money,
yep.
or you can use your credit card.
Yep.
You got 30 days to quote unquote, let's say, pass the test or
yep.
learn information, pass the test, which you said you did it a week.
Yep.
So now you got 3 weeks left to pay this card back.
Yep.
You can build relationships while you are taking the test and before you pass the exam with who'd you say that you can do some quick services with?
You can sign up with like SnapDocs, signing order. You can look up just different signing services across the country that you can sign up with, and they provide signings for you nationally. So if you can
sign up with signing services, right?
Yep.
Build some relationship. I think you mentioned attorneys, sign some, help people sign some real estate documents.
Yep.
So let's give that like 2 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You passed the first week. You did some business second and third week. So before the first week into the third week, you can launch this business on credit potentially.
Yep.
Learn the skill, right? Get the license and do the work and be profitable in less than a month.
Absolutely. If you put the work in, now you got to put the work in, of course, because I mean, when you first start out, obviously, it's gonna be some work that you need to put in. But if you dedicate it and you willing to put yourself out there, you're gonna make your money back.
So anywhere between 4 to 6 transactions, you can make that $1,000 back
easily.
All right, cool. Listen, we got another question. This one's from Annette, right? She's asking, can you get to be a notary in different states with one exam?
So you can be dual commissioned. The down. I mean, I would say it's a downside to it, but you need to get commissioned. Let's say if I want to be commissioned in Nevada, right? I would have to go to Nevada and take the test to be commissioned there. And if I want to be commissioned in Texas and any other state, I would have to take their state exam, go through their training, because every state has different laws on how you can notarize documents and what you can and can't do. But yes, you can be dual commissioned in different states.
So that kind of leads to like another question that we talked about on Imperfect Action, like how would you get around that, right? Mm-hmm. And I think one of the key things you said that I want to reiterate is like the idea of starting an agency. Because if you start the agency, you don't have to go get the commission, right? Uh-huh. You just collaborate with an agent that's already pre-existing in said state that may already be licensed. So talk about that. Talk about the mind frame of like where you were at from when you started the business to then when you was like, oh, I can actually build an agency.
Yeah, definitely. So it's funny, man, because coming into I've been doing it. I was just as a local notary, just working just in my region. I was doing that for about 4 years. And then in 2021, my goal was to actually start the agency, but I didn't really have a plan of action on how to execute this, right? And so I want to say October of last year, my commission was set to expire, right? My commission was set to expire. So I'm thinking like, damn, I think I had some time to, renew it. But for some reason, I waited to the month of to renew the commission.
Everybody does, bro.
I don't know why I did that.
I got my insurance license that I don't even practice, but I'm like, I should just keep it active. It's like 3 weeks away right now.
Right. So I waited. I don't know why, man, but I waited to the month of, and so I figured like, all right, well, I got kids, I got a family to take care of. I need to figure out how to continue to make money while I still have my commission. So luckily for me, I was already part of a few networking groups. I established a few relationships, and the goal was already to start an agency. So I was like, well, if my commission is set to expire, I know it's going to take about 30 days or so to get my stamp back. Let me see how I can leverage this by hiring some people, putting some people in place that can get these signings taken care of while I'm in the process of getting my commission back. So man, I had a loan officer still connected with her to this day. I had built a solid relationship with. I let her know, it's like, hey, my commission is set to expire within a week or so. I may not be able to do your signings for a while, but I do have some notaries under that I know that can service you. So he said, cool, no problem. So that same week, she reached out to me. He's like, hey, can you help me find a notary for this refinance signing that I have coming up? I said, bet, sure. That's not a problem at all. Luckily for me, I was already doing my due diligence. I'm already reaching out to notaries, trying to build, some type of network already. So that way, as soon as I get that request, I'm already ready. I'm not scrambling around trying to figure out this process. In October, no, it wasn't October, it's October. No, yeah, it was October. Tripper. That same week, I was able to hire a notary for that signing, and I haven't looked back since. So I started off with about a couple of agents or notaries locally, until now we have over 320 that we leverage across the nation.
So would you say your license having to, almost lapsing, you know what I'm saying? Would you say, did that expedite the agency being started? Because I mean, it was in your mind, but you didn't start as of yet. So would that did that kind of expedite that process?
Yeah. The sense of urgency kicked in because at this time, like I didn't have any digital products. I didn't have the academy. It wasn't even in existence yet. So the only way I was making money was using my stamp. I didn't know how to do fingerprinting. I didn't know how to provide any other non-notary services outside of using my stamp. So when that commission was set to expire, that sense of urgency kicked in. And then in that month, in my first month, without using my stamp at all, it generated $1,000. So $1,000, that's not a lot of money in a sense, but when you put in the perspective of you made $1,000 just putting the play together, you didn't have to print any documents, I didn't have to stamp anything, I didn't have to drive to the appointment or spend money on gas. I mean, from there, I was like, okay, I know I made the right decision. I'm gonna keep moving with this moving forward.
So talk about that a little bit. Somebody can get commissioned in their own state.
Yep.
Run that process.
Yep.
But then you have the opportunity to do business outside by having some JV partners or creating that agency. And then what are the ways that they could set up an agency, and what are the different ways they can get paid from the agency?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So I'm here in California, right? Let's say I could have a signing in New Jersey. So I may have a client and be like, hey, I got a estate plan signing out in New Jersey. Can you help us find a notary for the signing? Of course, no problem. So what I'll do is I'm going to go to either within my network of notaries that I know. I can either go to a notary directory, whether it's 123notary.com, signingagent.com. And I'm going to look up the zip code of where that signing is at in New Jersey. And I'm going to see what notaries service that area. I'm going to just reach out to them and say, hey, we have an estate plan signing available on this day and time in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is the fee for the signing. Are you available? Now, if they say they're available, okay, great. I'm going to send over all the information that they need, any documents that need to be printed out. And they're actually going to go meet that client. And they're going to be the ones to use their stamp because they're in New Jersey, right? They're going to stamp those documents, get it signed. They'll confirm with me that it's been completed, and then I make sure the notary get paid for it. And it's literally that simple.
So they would send the agency owner over the revenue for the transaction.
Yep.
And then you pay them out that revenue with like whatever their fee is.
Yep.
And then you're gonna keep a fee for the house, so obviously for the agency. And all you did was facilitate.
Yep. The only thing I did was just facilitate the play.
Yo, that's crazy. I hope you guys are really taking this in, because you can do this in all 50 states.
Yes.
If you have partnerships in all 50 states, you can run this play in all 50 states.
All 50 states, and it's no commission that's required. You don't need to be certified. That's the crazy part about this business model. Like, you don't need to be certified in order to start this business. Like, if for anyone on here that's not a notary, you can start your own notary agency right now. It don't need to be commissioned. Now, obviously, you wouldn't be able to stamp any documents because you're not commissioned. But as long as the notary that you hired, that's hired, that's commissioned in that state, then you can use them for that signing.
Yo, that's crazy. Literally, you could start a business right now without going through the process, without the license. All you need to do is be able to generate leads and direct them to yourself, build relationships in other states with notary agents, and you can literally start an agency right now.
Right now.
That's wild. I hope you guys are paying attention. Like, you're getting real gems right now. So I know some people still, cause I'm even like this right now.
Yep.
Like, thinking about what type of documents are people getting notarized
Mhm.
in 2022,
Mhm.
because everything seems to be like it's online right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So what are the top three documents, top 3 or 4 documents that are people still getting notarized like regularly?
Mhm. Oh, that's easy. Power of attorneys. That's always going to be number one. Advanced healthcare directives. Permission for a minor to. It's a travel consent form for minors to
Mm,
travel. That's all.
yeah,
That's a real popular form. Either a grant deed, quick claim deed.
yep.
What
Those are
else?
good.
Like passport applications. Those are typical documents that need to be notarized.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it's just good to know that, man. And then what about a couple of myths, real quick? Are there any myths around documents, whether they don't need to be notarized, or any myths around actually being able to make good money in this industry?
Mhm.
Like, are there any myths around
Mhm.
notaries that you could bust real quick?
Yeah, I would say the easiest one that comes top of mind is the myth is that you can't make money doing in our industry what is called general notary work. So like I was saying before, you have the real estate side, you're doing the refinances, the loan closings. That's more popular. That's the most known service to provide because it's great money to make. It's stable, and but for some reason people think that outside of that there's no money in it. Well, I'm here to tell you that's false. There's money to be made on the general notary work side. So if you want to notarize power of attorneys, if you want to do medical authorization forms, if you want to do living trust documents, passport applications, even outside of even the non-notary work, fingerprinting,
Mm.
apostilles. Apostilles are just pretty much certifying documents for international use. If you want to get into the wedding space, all of those services fall inside the general notary work, non-notary work scope of business, and there's money to be made in there. But again, it's all about surrounding yourself with the right people that's in those spaces and also getting the proper training as well.
That's actually crazy. So under that general notary work, you were
Yep.
talking about the fingerprinting,
Yep.
the international documents, the marriage documents, and stuff like that.
Yep.
Are those additional, I guess, maybe exams or filings that you need to acquire to do that, or can you do that like off the rip?
So for the on the if you want to do perform weddings, you would need to get ordained as a minister. If you want to do fingerprinting, those are more like complimentary services that notaries can offer. But yeah, you would need to get your certificate to roll fingerprints to do fingerprinting, and then if you want to use the live scan equipment, you obviously got to get that in place. But yeah, those are just pretty much the certifications that you would need.
Yeah, and it's true, because I remember, like, when I went to get my real estate license when I first got to California, I needed to get a notary, and I needed to get a live scan. So I went to this random spot. It was like in the back of the back. You know what I'm saying? It was a random spot. I think he even sold like actually I went to 2 spots. I went to one spot and they had like one of the services, but they didn't have the other one, so I had to go to another spot. So the first spot I went to, it was just kind of like a mom and pop version of like Staples. You know what I'm saying? It's like it
Yeah.
was just like they did all the copies and stuff like that, but it was just like a mom and pop version. But I was able to get a live scan. You know what I'm saying? But the other spot that I went to, which I think he sold, he did faxes, he did faxes. Um, what else he had going on? He did the we were saying earlier, the medallion stamp.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did the faxes, the medallion stamp, wire transfers and everything. But he also did the notary stuff. So I had to go over to him to do notary stuff. So, and it's crazy how many people actually, like, I'm thinking about all the different real estate agents in the state of California. There's probably over like 50,000. They all needed to get their documents notarized.
Yeah. It's like
You know what I'm
500,000
saying?
real estate agents here in California.
Yeah. You're right. You're probably right. They had to all get those documents notarized. So that need isn't going anywhere. So
Yeah.
talk about a little bit how somebody could, start this business for themselves, either like you did full time, or they can even do it on the side, passive. Because I
Good.
really like like what you were just saying, how you don't even need the license; it could develop the agency potentially.
Yeah. And that's actually a great question. I get asked that a lot. So for anyone on here, if you feel like you may not be able to start this business because you're working a 9 to 5, trust me, this business complements your 9 to 5. I work with notaries now who they're not available between 9 to 5, but if I have a signing between 6 to 10, you better believe they're gonna make themselves available. And the funny part about it, right, is a lot of times signing services, title companies, attorneys, they need documents signed after 6 because most folks can't sign documents while they're at work, and by the time when after 5 is when they'll be home. So yeah, if you make yourself available after 5 to 6 p.m., there's gonna be plenty of opportunities available for you. So yes, this definitely complements your 9 to 5.
So Net had mentioned in New York, unless you see that red logo on a glass window, you have to search online for somebody to do the services. That's good. I mean that's a good point. Um, because I'm thinking back to when I had to get the services done here.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty difficult for me to like locate one. Like if I wasn't going online, it was definitely difficult for me to find who actually could do the notary services. So,
Yeah.
what are some of the top ways that you market, or you would suggest people market themselves
Mm-hmm.
to get more business as a notary?
That's a great question, man. That is a great question. So, what I would do first off, the notary business it's a relationship business. So I would focus on networking,
Mm.
networking with the right individuals, whether it's an attorney, whether it's a real estate agent, whether it's someone that's working in financial services. They need documents, annuity paperwork notarized. I would start networking. And then second thing, obviously online, setting up the Google page. SEO is going to be your best friend. That's definitely going to get you a lot of
That's
phone
true.
calls
That's
as
a
well.
cheat. That's a cheat code. You can literally go to google.com/business and
Yeah,
set your business up on Google
yeah,
for free. And a lot of business owners do not do that. So it makes it seem like their business isn't legitimate. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's a bunch of other things that would be helpful for, but that's
Mhm.
just such an easy thing that everybody should be able to do.
Yeah, SEO is SEO is a cheat code for notaries. I will highly advise you when you come into the business, like get that SEO together, and it's gonna pay off for you in the long run. And then third, social media. I get a lot of business through Facebook, get a lot of business through Instagram, and just being visible, just letting people see, that you exist. Most of all, if people know you exist and you got a presence, like you'll get business. So just to recap, networking, SEO, and then leveraging social media. You leverage those 3 channels, you're gonna do great.
Network. I'm gonna just drop it right here for people. So we got networking.
Yeah,
Number two, we got SEO,
yeah.
Google, and then number three, we got networking.
Yeah, networking. You can,
I mean, number three, social media. You said network was number one.
yeah. If you like on the networking side, it's a lot of virtual networking, virtual networking groups that you can look into. Obviously, in your city, check out your local chamber of commerce. If you're not familiar with BNI, that's another organization as
Yeah.
well for service-based business owners where you can get business as well. And the cool and the great thing and the great part about those groups, there aren't any notaries in those groups.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. There's probably you'll probably be one of one
Yeah.
or one of two that are probably in that group.
Yeah, you'll see
Sure.
you'll see a lot of insurance agents, realtors, PNC agents, health and wellness. You'll see all those categories and then some. But as far as notaries goes, please, I mean that space is wide open. So if you plan on joining those groups, I mean you really got a great opportunity to do really well for yourself.
Yo, you know what I just thought about? Check this out. Okay. So let's say you're in a BNI group, and
Hmm.
let's say you're a mortgage lender or you're a realtor,
Yep.
right? And obviously you want the other people in the group to use your services, right? To do mortgages or use your services to help people buy some homes or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
But you enter the group, and let's say there's other people that do mortgages and there's
Yep.
other people that are realtors.
Yep.
Just imagine if you position yourself to add this to your career services.
Hmm.
Now, whether you do it on the side, or let's say you got like a son or daughter, a partner, you know what I'm saying, or even a friend, and you're like, yo, this is what we're gonna do. So now you're doing mortgages and you're offering notary, or now you're helping buy, you're performing you're performing as a realtor, and you're also doing the notary services.
Yep.
That will most likely actually help you service the people in your group more because they're gonna come for you. They're gonna come with you for the notary. You're gonna develop that relationship, and they're gonna be like, "Well, I mean, you might as well just do this transaction for me too."
Yep.
So it's probably a great way for you to add additional value to groups that already have people that are in your category in the groups, and it could take you $1,000 to get started. And we also kind of uncovered how you can get started with no money down. You know what I'm saying? And get it going in the first 2 to 3 weeks. So I think that would be a great way to just kind of add an extra little bonus, and if you use it strategically to get things going.
Yeah, referral partnerships are referral partnerships are really slept on. I wish more people. I wish that was talked about more often, because I mean, who doesn't love referrals, right? So for notaries getting into those type of groups, that is going to do wonders for you.
So let me know if you guys have any other questions for Raf as far as starting notary business, starting notary agency, questions about the revenue potential, questions about how you can set the business up, just ways to be effective. Maybe you're a notary right now. You want to kind of like step some things up, whatever the case may be. Drop your questions below if you have any questions. Yeah, man. So while they are getting questions together, if there's any final questions, let people know how they can get in contact with you and how they can work with you.
Yeah. First of all, tap in with me. I'm on damn near every social media platform. Check out with me on Instagram, Rafanyo. If y'all can look at the my tab right here, look me up. I'm always posting notary content, posting a ton of reels. Make sure y'all tap in. If you're a notary on here right now, I'm always looking for qualified notaries to work with. Make sure you go to the Stamper community. We're on Facebook. We always post upcoming and available assignments in the group. I'm always looking for new ways to create opportunities for other notaries, trying to make sure we put money in these notaries' pockets. So, as of now, it's been real tough on the loan closing side, with interest rates creeping up. So it's not like 2020 where a lot of folks is refinancing their homes. We're seeing less and less in that. So like I said, our agency in particular, we do a lot of estate plan signings, and we'd love to be able to open those doors for other notaries. And if you want to tap in with the Stamping Academy, we do weekly live classes. As a matter of fact, we have a live class this Thursday, Notary CRM 101. It's important for notaries to have a CRM to be able to keep track of their clients and know how well their business is performing. I'll be touching on that and then some. Also, we have inside the class, inside the entire program, we have 10 plus hours of recorded sessions, teach you how to learn these specific skills, how to market your business, how to create digital products, all these essential things to help you build your notary business and then some. Link in the bio on our Instagram page. Make sure you check us out, and make sure you attend the free workshop as well. We got a lot of value that we give, and it's another opportunity for you to congregate with other notaries as well, so you can build your network and position yourself to make some money at the end of the day.
100%, man. I want to thank you for tapping in and being on this episode. You dropped a lot of value, and if people are paying attention, they can make money from this episode specifically and get a brand new skill, 100%, or run a JV play. Don't even touch a notary and still be able to make some money. So make sure you guys follow my guy Rafanyo. We dropped it right there below in the chat, and also you can see it right there on the screen. That's RAFANYO. Tap in and enroll into the Stamping Academy if you're interested. And if you have any questions, you could just DM him directly and ask your questions. So, yeah, bro, again, appreciate you. We definitely will be tapping in soon. If you guys have any other questions, definitely make sure that you shoot them a DM. This episode of the Imperfect Action Show is sponsored by the Imperfect Action Con. Coming up 19th and 20th of August. You don't want to miss it. Be in a room. Link will be below if you have any questions on that. And I will see you guys on another episode.
Peace.
Peace.